To start World War III. Or has it started already? So this is how World War III starts. First, US President Donald Trump yearns for a military parade to celebrate his birthday. This is what he has in mind. But this is what he gets instead. Not quite the blockbuster display of American pomp and power he is attempting to project. But parades are so passé when the empire can wage real war for maximum shock and awe. Israel, fully funded, armed, and emboldened by the US, has plunged the entire world into clear and present danger by unilaterally and recklessly attacking.
Yeah, so please don't make off like the guy in the clip earlier, but I'm just giving you more commentary, and I'm gonna give you about 2 more clips about just how other countries are starting to respond to Donald Trump orders and just how they're really starting to feel about his decision making. Thanks for watching the video. If you hit that like, subscribe. This is only talking I'm gonna do on the video, so just enjoy, man. Thank you.
That Iran is nowhere near developing a nuclear weapon. But Mr. Art of the Deal peacemaker president is now parroting the propaganda of Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu, who, by the way, has been crying wolf for more than 3 decades about Iran's nuclear threat. The genocide of nearly 60,000 Palestinians and still counting in Gaza is apparently not enough to sate his bloodlust. And Trump, the self-styled anti-war president and supposed spanner in the works of the deep state puppet masters who keep the empire's war machine running, is now betraying his own MAGA cult over a core commandment: thou shalt not waste blood and treasure on foreign wars. Just listen to this exchange between former Fox News host Tucker Carlson and Republican Senator Ted Cruz. Tucker Carlson, possibly the most popular and influential among Trump's media acolytes, is appalled at the prospect of the president marching to the drumbeat of war instead of dancing to the tune of YMCA. And Ted Cruz, arguably the most untrustworthy politician on the planet, possibly a lizard person running out of skins to shed, is just appalling. Full stop.
How many people live in Iran, by the way? I don't know the population at all. No, I don't know the population. You don't know the population of the country you seek to topple? How many people live in Iran? 92 million. Okay. Yeah, how could you not know that? I don't sit around memorizing population tables.
Well, it's kind of relevant because you're calling for the overthrow of the government.
Why is it relevant whether it's,
because
90 million or 80 million or 100 million? Why is that
if
relevant?
you don't know anything about the country...
I didn't say I don't know anything about
Okay, what's the ethnic mix of Iran?
They are Persians and predominantly Shia. Okay.
You don't know anything about Iran. So,
okay, I am not the Tucker Carlson expert on Iran.
You're a senator who's calling for the overthrow of the government.
You're the one who claims
you like the country.
No, you don't know anything about the country. You're the one who claims they're not trying to murder Donald Trump.
I'm not saying that.
Who can't figure out if there's a good idea to kill General Soleimani, and you said it was bad.
They're trying to murder Trump.
Yes, I do.
Because you're not calling for military strikes against them in retaliation. And if you really believe that...
carrying out military strikes today.
You said Israel was.
Right, with our help. I said we. Israel is leading them, but we're supporting them.
Well, you're breaking news here because the U.S. government last night denied, the National Security Council spokesman Alex Pfeiffer denied on behalf of Trump that we were acting on Israel's behalf in any offensive capacity.
We're not bombing them. Israel's bombing them.
You just said we were.
We are supporting it.
High stakes. You're a senator. If you're saying the United States government is at war with Iran right now, people are listening.
Comedy gold, if not for the fact that these two MAGA cultists are arguing about human extinction to make Israel great again. And here we are now, with the so-called leader of the free world and his bloodthirsty allies openly discussing the possibility of murdering the leader of a sovereign nation, shamelessly urging millions of innocent people in the capital of that country to flee for their lives. Here we are now, swallowing all the dirty lies, duplicity, false accusations, and manufactured justification for one nation to destroy another. And all the complicity, connivance, cowardice, and complete lack of will or power that allows it to happen. Madmen are running the world, condemning us to repeat the past, even though we remember it clearly, because we're incapable of learning, a dumb and doomed species sleepwalking into extinction. This is like Iraq all over again. Only Iran is not Iraq. And this time we may not live to regret it.
Thank you very much.
Well, I'm quite limited, actually. The meeting is going on, and as soon as it is over, I will have to run.
Okay. I want to start by asking you about developments in the Middle East, and specifically the fact that America is actively considering striking Iran. What's Russia's reaction to that?
Well, we think that the situation is extremely tense, and it's dangerous, not only for the region, but globally wise. And enlargement of the geography of the conflict, enlargement of the composition of participants of the conflict potentially is extremely, even more dangerous. This is our attitude, and it will lead only to, let's say, another circle of confrontation and escalation of tension in the region. Potentially, it's extremely dangerous.
And how concerned are you about the prospect of regime change in Iran?
Well, you know, yesterday this question was asked to President Putin when he talked to news media chiefs.
It's a valid question, surely.
Yes, and he said that I even don't want to speak about that, he said. So it's unimaginable. It's unimaginable, and it should be unacceptable. Even talking about that should be unacceptable for everyone.
But it is being talked about.
Unfortunately.
Donald Trump has been openly speculating about it. What do you make of that language? Is it irresponsible, inflammatory?
Well, he never said about a definite decision on that.
But he's speculating about killing Iran's supreme leader.
We would rather not do that by ourselves.
If it were to happen, though, that Israel assassinated Ayatollah Ali Khamenei with US assistance, how would Russia react?
Very negatively. Very negatively. We will strongly disapprove it.
Would it prompt any action?
Well, actually, it will lead to an action coming from inside Iran. Iran's society is very well organized and very well consolidated, and it will lead to birth of extremist moods inside Iran. And those who are speaking about that, they should keep it in mind. They will open the Pandora box. We did a lot of mistakes, and we did open lots of Pandora boxes through last decade. Why should we do another mistake?
Now, Russia has offered to mediate the conflict, but it seems like Donald Trump has spurned Vladimir Putin's offers. He said that he told the Russian president, "Do me a favor, mediate your own conflict." What's Moscow's response to that?
Well, as a matter of fact, we're not insisting that we should mediate. We are just saying that we have a potential to mediate. Should it be necessary and should it be wanted by countries involved, now we're speaking about Israel and Iran, then we'll be ready because, yes, we have a relationship of strategic partnership with Iran, and we have quite a working, constructive relationship with Israel. And President Putin, he spent quite a significant time talking to Prime Minister of Israel, President of Iran, President of the United States, Chairman Xi of China, President of UAE, and other countries. So he's deeply involved, and he knows what is going on. And using our good relationship, constructive relationship with all the parties concerned, we could be of use. Should it be wanted, we can help. Should it not, we're not going to do anything.
But that specific remark from Donald Trump, saying that he told Vladimir Putin, "Do me a favor, mediate your own," that's a bit of a put down, isn't it? How did Vladimir Putin
No,
react?
not at all. Not at all. Listen, everyone has a different language. President Trump has his own unique way of speaking and his unique language. We're quite tolerant. We expect everyone to be tolerant to us. And reciprocally, we're tolerant to our vis-a-vis. So that's why we don't consider it A wrong statement. Well, yes, we have a conflict with Ukraine, and we would prefer to solve our problems through peace negotiations. And until we don't have this chance at hand, we're going to continue our military operation.
This offer to mediate and these calls for de-escalation, isn't that a bit hypocritical from Russia, with respect, given that the country has been waging war against
President
NATO
Trump,
for 3
President Trump is
years?
insisting that it should happen. The settlement should happen overnight. And
Sorry, I mean regarding Iran, these offers to mediate, this urge for Russia urging others to show restraint. Isn't that hypocritical of Russia, given that Russia's been waging war on its neighbor for more than 3 years? Isn't that a bit rich, coming from Vladimir Putin?
Oh, I don't think so. I don't think so. No.
Why not? You've been dropping bombs on your neighbor for more than 3 years. How is that?
We're dropping bombs on his military, on our neighbor's military infrastructure, because we have to get him deprived of military potential.
How is that setting an example of de-escalation, showing restraint?
There are different reasons. There are different reasons. Not a military bloc was trying to infiltrate Iran to get closer to Israel, thus constituting a threat to Israel. And NATO military infrastructure was getting inside Ukraine, thus getting closer to our borders, and proclaiming the ultimate goal of swallowing up Ukraine, thus being next to our borders and then deploying military infrastructure. We couldn't afford that, and we will never afford that.
On the Ukraine conflict then, on peace talks,
Yes.
what's going on with the peace talks? We've had 2 face-to-face meetings, and the only thing that's been agreed are these 2 prisoner swaps, which were being periodically agreed without face-to-face talks. Is Russia serious about these talks, or are they just theatre?
Russia is very serious. Russia is very serious. There is a third achievement you forgot to mention: exchange of draft memorandums.
Which could have happened without face-to-face talks.
Everyone can happen without face-to-face talks. The only one cannot is small steps towards mutual confidence. You cannot reach a result without a slightest mutual confidence. And to reach it, you have to look at the eyes of your counterpart.
So why doesn't Vladimir Putin meet directly with Volodymyr Zelensky and look into his eyes then?
Who is going to tackle all the details? Presidents?
Well, they have plenty of staff and assistants and administration.
Yes, that's why we keep saying, let's staff and then...
I'm sure others would accompany them at the meeting.
Let's let them do their homework. If it lasts for 1 week, that's good. If it lasts for 1 month, that's good. Would prefer it to be as short as possible. But when their homework is done, then it will be a turn for a highest level meeting, for the summit. And President Putin only yesterday night has confirmed his readiness to do the summit after the homework is done on the expert level.
So how soon could it happen?
It depends on the results. Next week we'll be waiting for agreement on the dates of a third round of expert negotiations. Let's wait and see what is going to happen. We'll have to exchange our mutual reaction on the memorandums drafts.
It's now been more than 3 months since Donald Trump first proposed a 30-day ceasefire. Russia still hasn't agreed to it. Surely that's plenty of time to have ironed out the issues that Vladimir Putin first raised when it was first proposed. Why not just agree to it?
Well, because there are lots of issues to be tackled before announcing a ceasefire. So, if the ceasefire is on, who is going to do monitoring?
These are the same issues that were raised more than 3 months ago. Why haven't those questions been answered?
No.
Why not?
Who answered those questions?
No, I'm asking why haven't they? If you're serious about...
Will the United States, Great Britain, and NATO countries continue military support, hourly military support to Ukraine after the ceasefire? Will shipments of armaments continue to Ukraine, or will they stop? will Ukraine continue mobilization? And will Ukraine continue movement of the regiments to get their position better, to improve their positions on the fronts?
So you're concerned about Ukraine rearming, regrouping in a
And
ceasefire?
we're concerned about Ukraine being pumped up by new armaments and so on and so forth,
wouldn't
thus
Russia
getting
do the same?
prepared for another offense.
Wouldn't Russia do exactly the same? Use a ceasefire to rearm and regroup and move its forces
No,
around?
if the same is done, then there is no need for ceasefire. Now we have a strategic advantage. Why should we lose it? We're not going to lose it. We're going further, we're advancing, and we'll continue to advance.
So that's surely the real reason why you won't agree to a ceasefire.
No, this is the de facto situation.
If you continue to make gains on the battlefield,
President Putin has said that we will be ready to announce ceasefire as soon as we have answers to all these questions. But we don't have answers. No one is answering.
can Russia commit to not rearming and regrouping and moving its forces around if a ceasefire is announced?
Well, of course. Ceasefire is a ceasefire. You ceasefire and you stop. But America is not saying that. We'll quit any supplies next second. Great Britain is not saying that as well. France is not saying that as well.
But you're giving your commitment here.
And
Russia would do
most
that.
commanders are not saying that as well. This is the problem.
How realistic is it that the war will end this year?
We hope for the best. We would like the war to end tomorrow or even tonight.
What chances do you give it, though?
Do you know what is going to happen tomorrow in modern world? No, you don't. Either do I.
Just on Russia-US relations. There's a lot of talk at the forum and a lot of speculation that about the prospect of lifting sanctions and US companies returning. How likely is that, do you think?
Before the settlement, it's very much unlikely. But together with the settlement, it is likely. Thank you.